Help support this channel and get early access to videos plus exclusive content and patrons-only live discussions by becoming a member at patreon.com/Bruce Poinsette.
A lot of us, we talk about sort of like sports talk and, you know, specifically the talking heads, just like how ridiculous it is. And I always like to point out there's some level of hypocrisy in that, because if you've ever been on Blazer Twitter, it's a horrible place.
Oh, yeah.
It's a like, and these, well, some of them are actually like on beat rights and whatnot, but a lot of these people, they're not being paid to make these bad takes all day.
Oh, they're just saying them.
Yeah, they just do it.
Yeah.
Which brings me back to good stuff for JJ and interviewing, you know, Damian Lillard. This clip went viral about, it's weird because it's just Dame saying the same thing he's been saying forever, which is like, yeah, rings culture is taking over the NBA in a weird way, and he doesn't subscribe to it. And there are other ways to measure your success as a professional athlete, which is common sense.
That's just what it is.
Like, it's always wild to me, especially here.
It went viral?
Oh, yeah. No, it went, like, that's the thing, is like, that clip went more viral than Dame scoring 71 points, which I feel like says something.
Huh.
But also, like, the thing is, like, the Portland fan base, or at least a very vocal, I shouldn't say like the majority, but a very vocal portion of the Portland fan base is always trying to trade Dame.
Yes.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Like, it's all kinds of like justifications. My favorite, of course, is always the people like, he really needs to do what's best for him and his family and all that. It's like, you don't care.
Right. You don't care about his family.
But B, what are you talking about as far as like it's going to be better for the team, or it's going to be better for him, or, you know, he needs to validate himself by going for these rings? It's like, I'm not that far removed from like high school basketball, or, you know, understanding just, or even take that away. When you have someone like Mike James, or someone who's like a local high school basketball star, not, you know, NBA perennial all-star level, but can like make the end of a roster, can be, you know, an impact guy. Like, he was just a couple years ago playing huge minutes for the Nets in the playoffs. But like, we understand locally, when that guy makes a roster, it's a big deal because there's like 400 spots in the NBA.
Right.
And we understand how important it is just to like be on the stage, and how grateful people are to be, you know, grateful and excited and accomplished people feel to get there.
Right.
But then somehow we don't understand why a guy making, or set to make, 60 mil a year in his next extension, I want to say, a guy who's like, who has a higher approval rating in Portland than Damian Lillard?
Truly. People love him out here.
But you're like, why would you want to stay here? Why would you want to continue, you know, being one of the greatest scorers of all time, you know, run a city? Why? When you could be chasing a championship? It's like,
He doesn't care about the rings, man.
do you do that in your job?
Yeah.
Would you like to go work for, would you go from whatever figure salary you have to be, you know, an Amazon warehouse worker because they're doing so well? No.
Dame, and like, I've been checking out a few of the Blazers games. Like, we're just like in a slight rebuild moment, like very slight. We're not doing that bad.
I mean, it is frustrating.
There's points of struggle. There's some points of struggle, but like, in comparison, like looking into some of the other teams, I don't know who I saw the other day, who I was watching play, but there was a team that I saw. It might have been. How are the Kings doing right now?
Kings are actually doing really well.
It wasn't the Kings. 1 second. Now I got to check my ESPN app, because I saw some stuff and I was like, yo, some teams are like the Rockets. Rockets.
The Rockets are amazing, just because after Dame scored 71, someone put out a stat of like all the guys who've had 40 or more this year against the Rockets. It's like 20.
Yes. Like, y'all,
this is
Portland, we
amazing.
could be the Rockets.
You know, but also like it's just again kind of like to the point of like JJ Redick calling out all just the BS of like sports fan culture. People are miserable. Like with the Kings, they played the Clippers however many weeks ago, went to double overtime. It was like 176, 175. You know, that's got to be the closest to breaking the combined scoring record a game has been in forever, at least as long as I can think of. And what was the response in, you know, the sport, or at least, you know, the talking point in sports culture world? Oh, what's wrong with the defenses? Maybe the NBA needs to go to a target score model instead of just having overtimes. It's like, do we just not like happiness?
We
Seriously.
don't like celebrating. Like,
What part of double overtime, 176, 175, who sees that and is like, that's not fun.
that's a bad game.
That's terrible.
That's an embarrassing game. The defense. No, it's like just like they were scoring. It was a scoring game. It's cool. That to me is exciting. I feel like we're not celebrating the little moments in the NBA anymore.
We're not celebrating anything.
Yeah.
We're like sports fans are trained. I shouldn't even say trained, but like there's a certain level of misery that's just weird to me. Like I get how we got here in like the Skip Bayless timeline of things. I do. But also, if a guy, you know, Donovan Mitchell scores 71, Dame scores 71,
Right.
what's wrong with the defense? Maybe guys are just good. Maybe I
Maybe
could
they're
be wrong.
just good players. No one was saying this when Devin Booker shot 70 a few years ago. Like, it was fine.
Yeah. You know, what was it, the game? Yeah, people are scoring too much. Oh, no. The defense. Even, like, if you win, because, you know, Kevin
Wilt
Durant was
Chamberlain score 100 in a game?
also that. Like,
Please.
like I think scoring is good. It's weird that we're mad at that.
Why
but
are we
like,
mad at scoring?
but like we're mad. Shit, when LeBron broke the scoring record, like, did I think it was a little weird that they not just like stopped the game, but had like a second halftime at the end of the third quarter to celebrate that
That's a
moment?
little bit funny.
It's a little bit weird, but then I also have to think about it. It's a national pastime to diminish LeBron James, partially because of Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, if he wants to coordinate and make these theatrical moments out of like these milestones, yeah, maybe it's a little different, but also if you're the person who, again, because I can sit here and blame Skip Bayless or Stephen A. Smith, but there's plenty of people I saw, because I'm a glutton for punishment, and I was on Twitter when it was happening, who were just like, literally during that game, retweeting or live tweeting that game, talking about there's still not Jordan though. What are you talking about?
I would let LeBron have that moment. It is literally that he broke the scoring record. Like he is officialized himself as an all-timer. That's one thing, like, as much as I enjoy a good LeBron joke here or there, that is one of the, like, greatest people to play the game of basketball.
People are obsessed with just, like, how can I find, you know, how can I tear down LeBron in any
How can I
way?
take him down?
Is weird. It's, well, he didn't do this thing that, like, he didn't hit these game winners, except he did. He scored all the, like, the man is 38, was averaging 30 points a game. I don't care if he was playing on the Rockets. That would still be impressive.
Deeply impressed. Like, what he does, what he's been able to do in his time is just, like, again, like, we as fans, we as sports fans, look, I am a Jordan person myself. I think Jordan is the GOAT, and I will stick with that. But I can't deny in saying anyone can make a good case for LeBron, for Kobe, for like anybody. Someone can make a case like Larry Bird is the GOAT. You can make a case for anybody. We just need to be able to celebrate and acknowledge when the greats are being great.
But we do, like, it's just, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I've been rooting for Kevin Durant throughout this entire process. But when he makes the point of like, yeah, fans are just looking for some reason to, build up and then tear down all the players. He's not wrong.
No.
I mean, even with like, if you win championships in this era, your championships don't count.
Yeah.
Because everyone was on a super team. If you don't win, you're a failure because you didn't win, even though we've said the championships and the rings don't count. And, like,
that
it's
also
just
reminds me, what team is Kevin Durant on right now?
it's on the Suns.
Suns. That was the whole Brooklyn trade. Where's Kyrie again?
It's with Dallas.
Okay. I'm putting pieces together.
There's a lot of also just a lot of that was a spectacular disaster of management in Brooklyn.
Yes.
But like
Brooklyn's going through it.
I mean, I've had to actually do some real, I'm not going to call it soul searching because I don't take it that seriously. But like, as a sports fan, I've picked out certain players over the years, like we all do, where we're like, nah, I'm just going to hate on you.
Yeah.
Like, we just do it, Once upon a time, it was Dirk Nowitzki. Ooh. Then it became James Harden.
Yep.
And
James Harden.
For however long now it's been, I've just, like, Paul George is my nemesis who has no idea who I am.
Yeah.
Very solidly. I will
Kevin
never.
Durant for me.
I refuse to let him live down those Papa John's commercials. I refuse to forget that he'd had a Gatorade commercial of him hitting the buzzer beater game winner that he's never hit in his career. And again, I hear myself saying this. But flip side, I saw someone again on Blazers Twitter try and say, who Cam Reddish reminds me of? Paul George. And I was just like, what have we done?
Don't do this.
Like, I've hated on this man relentlessly. This is wild. No.
Yeah.
No, don't do this. Granted, and then Paul George, I guess, had some interview this week where he was asked, best two-way players of all time at each position, and he put himself at the 3 when he was on a team with Kawhi Leonard, and it was just like, you make this too easy for me. But I feel bad right now. But God, you're just laying this up for me right now. Anyways, but I'm gonna.
As someone who respects Paul George is definitely corny quite often.
Yes, like
dude has been embarrassed one too many times.
It's wild, but again, it's like everyone either you have you're at the top of the food chain, and you're Skip Bayless, you're Stephen A. Smith, and you get paid for your ridiculous takes very well, or you just volunteer ridiculous takes all day about how the Blazers should trade Dame.
Yep.
How I think it's honestly like it's almost interesting. It's just funny to me, like what do people have to do to like be actually outrageous? Like the Kendrick Perkins and JJ clip went viral, but like I think about things in the last few weeks. Like I'm not sure how much you've been following the John Morant stuff, but
deeply.
Yeah, they had that segment on with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp questioning, whether or not John Morant is a Crip on national TV. It's just like,
I love too because like that's what we're seeing on national TV, while on the internet everyone's pulling up old school photos of him being like he doesn't need to be doing anything he's been doing.
So that
this kid is not a Crip. Anyone who is watching, John Morant is not a Crip or a Blood. He's just an NBA player with money who bought a gun.
But again, we're in the takeosphere where everything is escalating. Nothing makes sense. Every take is eventually going to eat its own tail.
Yeah.
And
it's exhausting.
Yeah, no, it's exhausting, but that does remind me of the other part of this, to take things just a little bit more seriously.
Let's go.
Because I have a hard time believing that influence as far as sports take culture doesn't have a tie-in with like how we consume politics. A lot of the ways that we actually like, a lot of the ways people do news coverage, especially as it's become, on cable news, more of a just talking head debate commentary show.
Absolutely.
you can see the through line to sports media. It's almost like, in some ways, I feel like sports media conditions people to think along these lines, or you know, like, what was it? First Take's slogan used to be "Embrace debate." I think.
Embrace debate. Interesting.
It still might be the case. I don't know. I just know back when it was like Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, there's definitely like "Embrace debate," and it's just like, it's hard not to notice how the same way you conduct these debates over something that, you know, entertainment, but it's not, you know, this huge political issue. It's hard not to see how people do that exact same thing over real stuff.
Yes, real life politics.
And every now and then you get some good moments. You get what's her name, Brianna Joy Gray, who I'm not really a fan of, but went viral this week asking some conservative author to do something very simple: define woke. You keep talking about woke, and this woman had just a great, wonderful meltdown, and it's just like, yeah, this is, you like seeing this. It makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside.
That's embarrassing.
But also, that is 20 seconds out of 24/7 news media day.
Yeah.
Which brings us to Fox News, because I think we've been talking about the Oscars, the Grammys, entertainment stuff, sports media, but we gotta have a little serious media talk, because Fox News is being sued for something in any general, you know, sense would be considered, you know, a fatal violation of your journalistic ethics code.
Oh, I did not hear about this.
Yeah, so, you know, because Fox News kept running lies about the election and specifically implicating Dominion voting systems, or whatever they're called, Dominion, you know, suing them for a lot, and because of that, now we're starting to get like all the like depositions and stuff leaking out. So among other things, Rupert Murdoch was on the record saying that he didn't believe these things, and he was urging people internally to stop spreading these lies. You have certain personalities that lied on TV: Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity, on the record in their texts talking about how they didn't believe Trump's lie, but they're just doing it because that's what the viewers want. Wow. All of this is on record, and again, I love that your response on this, because there's this weird thing where like this is in the news and people are talking about it, but because Fox has conditioned us to just be like, yeah, we know it's a propaganda machine, we know it's a terrible organization, like, it's 2023 and we're not shocked by this, even though if this were any
other,
if this was anyone else, this would,
if this happened on CNN, this would be an explosion.
Yeah, this is something that should actually take down the whole operation.
Yeah.
Aside from the lawsuit, like the lawsuit only takes away but so much money, but like in terms of just integrity, in terms of the TV personalities explicitly telling us all what they think about the audience.
Literally, to me, that just reveals the whole veil. They're all lying. That, like, you were all just caught in a lie where you literally said, this is what the audience will want us to do, so let's do it. So you're all lying.
Yeah. And it's like, and did we know that? Yes. But, like, this is
proof.
Yeah.
It was a theory before. We all had our theories before, because it's like they didn't give us proof. Like, yeah, they would say ridiculous shit on live TV, but it's like the amount of people watching it, you're like, oh, this could be some real shit. So when you are caught lying,
and then this is cable news, because my first thought with this was, it's a smoking gun, but also I remember the Alex Jones case where he admitted, I'm lying. I'm lying to my fans to, sell boner pills or whatever. And Obviously, that is not taking down Alex Jones, but
No.
at least that was, that's not a cable TV platform.
Right. This is.
Like how the fact, because we all know how this is going to end, which is with absolutely nothing, and Fox is going to keep going on.
Yeah.
And, all these people are going to make more money. But I don't know. For me, it's like, I'm hesitant with this comparison, but again, we're here, so we're just going to make it.
Throw it up.
The same way people looked at Sandy Hook and the response to Sandy Hook and said, shit, have we lost the war already? Is it already over? If this is how we're going to respond to a school being shot up like this. Like with Fox News, because again, we all knew what they were before.
Right.
And Fox News fans clearly do not care about being lied to blatantly. They do not care. Like, as long as you say the things they want to hear, the integrity does not matter.
Celebrate, right.
And it's like, because I do think about media literacy. I think about how we, like, stories are important. Journalism is actually very important, even if people don't recognize it, even if people don't understand how much of a demand that they demonstrate for it.
Right.
The dots don't always connect. They don't, if you're not involved with school newspaper in high school, there's a fairly low chance you're going to actually have to engage with any, like, explicitly engage with journalism from, like, an educational standpoint. And even then, to only so much of a degree.
You only get so much out of it.
Yeah. But, like, we are, I'm going to say this one as a plug to, again, support operations like The Numbers, support independent media with integrity, because it is murky out here. Like, you have Fox News. I think about, I watched the show Higher Learning with Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay. And, Van Lathan talks about his time at TMZ. And that's always an interesting journalistic integrity conversation, because you have a wealthy white man who's able to pay for journalism in a way that is controversial in some senses. Like,
Right.
because it's always, people use like the TMZ model of, well, then Bruce, why aren't you paying me for this journalistic interview? It's like, A, that's not how it works. B, you wouldn't, I know for a fact you're not asking the Oregonian when they make the same request to you for that. But also, on a larger scale, what does it say if, we're paying for these videos, we're paying for these interviews, and, that's their business model. But if we don't know the difference, just from a media literacy standpoint,
You think it's
is it not detrimental, one, to our basic understanding, but then two, basically, like, if you're trying to get in the game, you have to be Harvey from TMZ with billions of dollars to throw at people. And is that not problematic in itself?
I think so, at least.
But are we even getting, it's like 3 layers deeper than the Fox News is on, on paper lying to everyone conversation, and we don't get there. We kind of just, all this is kind of like dominated by the ridiculousness, dominated by, is John Morant a Crip? Like, we're having that conversation. Have Tucker Carlson complaining about, the green M&M isn't sexy enough. Like, stupid shit like that takes up way more. It lives rent free.
People are arguing that.
Yeah. We have, everyone arguing about anytime Ron DeSantis attacks anything for, God, I mean, we had the biggest financial meltdown, the biggest bank meltdown since the financial collapse of 2008.
Jeez.
Just happened.
Yeah.
But on Fox News, what are they talking about? Well, maybe it's because their boards were too diverse. They were too woke. Maybe that's what caused it. What? But also because, again, we don't engage with media like that.
Yeah.
We either we leave it all alone because it's ridiculous, or we engage in the most hyperbolic, most ridiculous parts of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And the circle or the cycle just keeps on going. And again, like I want to be wrong. I want this to end with Fox News being like, you know what? We actually have to shut our doors because this has actually crossed the line.
Right.
No one in their right mind would put any money on that because it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We have hope for things that seem simple, like the Oscars, just continuing on barely an upward trajectory.
Right.
Barely an upward trajectory in recognizing black actors, recognizing black filmmakers. I was hoping for like a hopeful wraparound to this.
Hopeful ending.
I'm not finding it. What else happened in the world?
I get. Ooh.
Wait, do you have something positive in media to rescue us here?
At the end of the day, even though in the media world things are pretty crazy and intense, at least in real life, except for like the whole like financial crash and that dealing to inflation and all that, but in real life, the sun is out here in Portland. Nope is still a great movie. You should go see it. The Blazers aren't doing the worst. They're not the worst in the NBA. And, you know, at the end of the day, we know Fox News is out here just lying live to their audience. And if you don't care, that's a you problem. But to me, I like honest news.
Yo, I would love to say that I'm in a more positive and uplifted mood. But I feel like that reminded me of more horrible things that are happening.
More horrible? We have more bad.
Where was the new bad news? About Fox. Oh, maybe it slipped my mind, and maybe we'll actually end on that positive note. I'm trying here. I'm trying. I really am.
Is there no negativity, no more? There's negativity everywhere, but like, y'all know it.
Let's see what. There has to be something genuinely positive and inspiring in the media sphere.
Aw. Hey, I just found this great photo. Look at this.
Oh, hey.
I'm inspired by this. We'll show the audience. It is a photo of Angela Bassett, Michael B. Jordan, and Jonathan Majors at the Oscars.
Even that's a commentary on journalism, because I would say this at least. When people started going in on Angela Bassett, other people that did the research, they're like, hey, remember that time where Samuel L. Jackson lost for Pulp Fiction? He is cursing in the video.
Right.
Like this, A, this has happened before. B,
there have been people who are way mad. Like,
yeah.
Leave Angela alone.
Like we have seen some award show meltdowns for real.
Yes.
This is a person sitting and is like, oh, I didn't win.
I did not win.
I'm disappointed.
After having, can we also make notice that she had an amazing award season, by the way? Like, this is the one award she did not win in comparison to all the other awards that she did win.
Yeah. But no, because I feel like everyone, like the beauty of media being more equitable is that, you know, we all have our voices out here. We have an opportunity, but also a lot of people have really terrible takes. Just, yeah, the real point of this whole media mashup talk is just a conversation to myself to get off of social media. If we're just being real, it's not going to happen just yet, but
this is the media mashup to get us off social media.
People, look,
it's not currently working.
No, just I know that's the actual answer. I'll be happier. I can focus better. There'll be better conversations. Or you can stay in this vortex of just, what is the horrible take going to be today?
Yeah.
Or even, what is the horrible take going to be today? We've already gone over. We're not going to go to the other places. So, yes, the sun is out.
Sun is out.
People in Portland, they'll be raining again when you see this. But
probably
for the time being, enjoy the weather.
Enjoy the weather.
Life is not all terrible, but a lot of the media you're consuming is. Thank you and good night.